Jamie Dimon says he's seen the numbers and SpaceX's orbital data centers could actually work despite the technical and valuation risks. So just gave you a couple of other opinions. Jamie Dimon offering more of his thoughts here on SpaceX. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon on Monday called Starlink, quote, an extraordinary product and said that SpaceX plans to build artificial intelligence data centers in orbit, and that could work, offering a prominent Wall Street endorsement as the newly public company's shares hover near their IPO price. They're actually beneath it. Speaking on the Master Investor podcast with Wilfred Frost, Dimon called SpaceX an extraordinary company after visiting its operations. JP Morgan helped market SpaceX's record $75 billion IPO, which priced at $135 per share in June. Quote, I went to visit it, and Starlink is an extraordinary product, end quote. That came from Dimon. He went on to say, quote, I've seen numbers on the data centers in space that could actually work, end quote. Dimon said orbital computing could tap cheap solar power, reducing cooling expenses and avoid some constraints facing ground-based facilities. He acknowledged difficulties in returning data to Earth, but said laser links could redirect transmissions between satellites when a cloud blocks a receiving satellite. SpaceX operates more than 10,000 Starlink satellites, the world's largest low Earth orbit communications network. Elon Musk plans to test orbital AI computing by the end of 2027 using technology derived largely from Starlink's V3 spacecraft. Musk has called solar-powered orbital data centers a, quote, no-brainer, and recently said SpaceX could fly its first systems next year. Now, the concept remains unproven. SpaceX warned in its IPO filing that orbital data centers may never become commercially viable. Amazon Web Services CEO Matt Garman called the idea pretty far from reality, citing launch capacity and payload costs. Investors, however, remain divided. Deepwater asset managing partner Gene Munster has argued that SpaceX's rockets, satellites, and AI stack create a sovereign AI advantage that competitors cannot easily match. The Future Fund's LLC Gary Black has focused on valuation, saying investors should not pay roughly 150 times projected 2026 EBITDA. Now, really quickly, going back to the models here, I've used ChatGPT, I've used Perplexity, I've used Claude a fair amount, I've used Gemini, but not a whole lot. The one that I've used more than anything else has been Grok. Now, full disclosure and fair point, the reason that Grok is the one that I've used the most is because I got a paid subscription with X Pro, which is really at this point the only way to consume news now, or far and away the best way to consume news. And so I figured, well, I might as well use the model that I'm already paying for, figuring this is the best way to save some money and be as efficient as possible. Well, what happened is they released Grok Build. And Grok Build is unbelievable. It's the whole reason I have a bot developed here. I've had a lot of success with this so far. One of the things that I noticed from Grok Build is that it actually corrects its own mistakes without you having to ask it, which for someone that's a non-developer, really kind of important because it allows me to learn things that I didn't think about and allows me to put out a fairly finished product in a short amount of time. It's also cheaper on a token basis. So I think there's a lot here. I also, because I'm a space nerd, this is just kind of a personal thing. It's not really all that important, but because I'm a space nerd, I love that the AI model that I use is the SpaceX AI. To me, that makes me smile at the end of the day. Anyway, I digress. SpaceX shares recently slipped below their IPO price after reaching a high of $225.64 on June 16th, while short sellers accumulated an estimated $8.7 billion in paper gains, and that was reported by Reuters last week. Dimon's praise follows a major thaw in his relationship with Musk. He called Musk, quote, our Einstein, end quote, in 2025, and later the Edison of our time. Musk recently replied to a viral post reviving the comparison with a very simple, thanks, Jamie. And that's good because sometimes Elon likes to go ham on some of these Twitter posts. It's nice to see him keeping it succinct there and all of that. So All right. Producer, we are short our guests. Let me see if we're. And also we have a poll. Thank you, producer. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you reminded me about this. I totally forgot this. We have another poll question here today, and I would very much like you folks to vote. Tesla reports Q2 earnings this week. What do you think will be the most important growth driver for the company ahead? New electric vehicles, full self-driving monthly subscriptions, robo-taxis, or humanoid robots? So let me know what you think on that. Let me know where you think the big revenue is coming from. I haven't voted yet. I will, but I think I would vote for Optimus, although that might be a couple of quarters, maybe even a couple of years in the future.